galing ng bayan niya. The Filipino Flash! Dito na siya at siya ang mitsa. Hudyat para ang lahat magsigalaw na. Ngayon ang panahon para magkaisa at ang husay ng Pinoy maipakita. At kay Donaire, yun ang kanyang adikain para lahat ng Pilipino pagsamahin. Sang bigis, sang dikit, sang lahi para kahirapan ay mabawi. The Filipino Flash! Pilipinas, nandito na siya upang kanyang ipakita ang aking tapang at galing ng bayan niya. The Filipino Flash! Pilipinas, nandito na siya upang kanyang ipakita ang aking tapang at galing ng bayan niya. The Filipino Flash!
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Nonito
Hello, sorry.
Hey guys, what's up guys? Here we are again. We have a special guest today for all those people wondering what this promotional stuff is all about.
Yeah, Sino C, Richard Schaefer. You know, for a lot of the old school boxing people, they've known Sino C Richard for a long time now, no? He's been around for quite some time.
For quite some time. I mean, he started with Golden Boy, and then he started. I mean, he's pretty much been everywhere, and was one of the successful promotion when it comes down to promoting. I mean, one of the best guys that I know personally, a really good friend of mine.
And I wanna ask for yung patience mo. Kasi we are at home, di ba? Merong pandemic. Pero even without yung pandemic, it's 6:15 dito sa States. At yung dalawang sons ko nandito. So if ever you see us go off screen or making hand gestures, it's just them trying to get our attention. Yes. So we thank you so much
for your patience.
Yan. Sobra echo. Ay, sandali. You know what? It might be yung new headset ko.
Maybe that's what it is.
Ewan ko. It sounds like I'm in a church.
Yeah, so there is technical difficulty.
Sandali.
Let me see.
Monocast shouldn't be.
Yeah, hold on. Sorry, guys. New equipment. We are all right about it. Everything is good.
So maybe I shouldn't use this one?
No, I mean, we didn't have that problem earlier, so I have no idea what's going on. What about now?
Still? Meron ba?
Oh, I think I know what happened. There it is.
Okay,
now we're back.
Okay na?
Yes, that was good.
Can you guys give me thumbs up?
Yes, it's good. We don't have a thing because it was a karaoke.
Slight echo pa.
There's a slight echo. Interesting. All right. I hope it's not too
yan.
much.
Well, no, someone said yan.
Yes.
Okay, you guys give me 3 people that say walang echo.
Yes.
Okay na? Okay, parang okay na. Okay. Okay, so this is gonna be a English and Tagalog. When Richard comes up, he's going to speak in Tagalog.
Well, I think that.
Just joking.
No, I think that
he's gonna speak in English. Okay. Be patient with him because Nonito is gonna translate it into Tagalog. So
afterwards, we want his thoughts to continue what he needs to say without our interruption. So just please be patient with us. If you have any question afterwards, we will definitely recap on what we've learned in what Richard is gonna be sharing with all of us.
Yeah. So earlier today we were doing a vlog. I got in trouble.
Well, because I told her I wanted to show you guys what my workout was, and 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 of course, we usually don't tape anything or put any videos or anything like that. So so she stopped it, and I said, let the guys watch. So maybe next time you guys will get to see the live sparring in my training. But we have an amazing a lot of
First day.
information coming in today. But yeah, the sparring was amazing today. I had a great sparring with two guys, and they were tremendous up and comers. So looking forward to this fight.
You took my mouse pad.
I did.
Yeah, how did it get there? Okay, so, yun na yun. We have, Byron. Miss Rachel, ikaw na lang mag-translate to the Tagalog.
Right. Rachel's gonna translate in Tagalog. I'm gonna be speaking English. For our
Ay, nako.
English speaking guys here, so that we can kind of share all of that. And alam naman natin, we know that the Filipinos are very good in speaking English and understanding English. So in fairness to them, magno-nosebleed po kayo muna until we get
Konti
done
lang.
with the interview with Richard, which will be soon. Once he sets on, he will be speaking everything, all the things that we need to know about Richard Schaefer.
Somebody said they like my hoodie. Saan yan?
Yeah. They like you hit
Ayan,
it.
yun, the
And-
boogeyman. This is from the stove.
The Stove. Shout out to the Stove, one of the best brunch places here in Las Vegas. So if you guys are ever in Vegas, check the Stove out. It's a party out there.
Yes. If you want like quiet and peaceful, don't go to the stove. Okay?
The
I'm giving
Stove.
you yung warning. It's called Not Your Mom's Brunch.
Yes.
Pero I'm a mom now and I like the place. So it's yung whatever you want, no?
Right.
So I just wanted to say that. Pero I like this is my champagne gang. Kasi yung sa stove, they have unlimited champagne and merong champagne bongs. So yung champagne bongs, if you know what a beer pong is, it's a champagne flute and then it has a bong.
Yeah.
I won't go what you call
Marcelino Yamera, the challenge is improving every effing day. Quality, right information, entertaining, good vibes. Keep it up, champ. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. We're doing our best to give everybody the right information, and of course, to see our personality, which we always joke around in. This one right here, the
We do.
champagne queen over here. So, you want to see if let me see. Okay.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Richard. So let's talk about how your sparring went today.
Sparring was amazing today. I mean, again, two guys that sparred was really good. They had different styles, so I had to adjust for each and every one of them. But no, I thought today, first day in the gym, because I just been working out in the backyard and running all over the place. The sparring was really great. So I think I'm gonna be very, 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 very sore tomorrow.
Kambay said, fresh na fresh pa din. That's because he went to Ice Skin over the weekend.
Yes, Ice Skin,
bogey.
Penthouse, the best place out there. So make yourself pretty, beautiful, handsome, whatever it all takes, but they can make it all happen for you.
Yeah. Look at him.
When I'm speaking English, you know what's happening? I feel like I'm a commentator. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an incredible day. Amazing. The fight has been tremendous.
And who was at the gym today?
Who was at the gym today was Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas was with us training and doing his all Jesse Vargas thing with his sombrero.
Jesse always wears sombreros. And if he could, he would probably ride a horse to the gym. Yeah, but we love Jesse. So.
Yeah, so please be patient with us.
Well, let's talk about what Probellum is. Sandali. Where is yung yan? Share. So if you haven't found out yet, and you haven't seen yung news, si Nonito has signed with Probellum. This is yung news article. That's me, if you don't know. That's sometimes how I look like, sometimes lang. So this article is from NewYorkFights.com. And it was published 5 hours ago, parang around alas 11.
11 o'clock, they published this. This was the meeting that we had
On
on Saturday, signing the contract, and as well just having the other conversation along with it. But new Richard Schaefer promotional company. I have signed with Richard Schaefer. I believe he is one of the greatest guy I've known in the business, the most trustworthy guy I've known in the business, and a dear, dear friend to me and my family. So, I'm really happy for all of this happening, and most of all, I'm happy to be working with him again.
So, of course, as you see, there's big names. Let me highlight those: Regis Progress, Badujak, Elemantas, Staliones, Arthur B.R. Slavno. Gosh, these names. Ricky Burns, Eduardo Hernandez, and Brandon Moore. The other one, Taras Shelestuk.
Shilestiak.
Okay, you got that.
All right.
They've also had secured co-promotional agreements with some of the biggest promoters, such as Wazerman Boxing, Universum in Germany, Maravella Boxing in Spain, LNK Boxing Latvia, Glovsia Boxing in New Zealand, Sean Boxing Promotions, Dominican Republic, Team Ellis Boxing in Australia, Armin Tan Boxing Promotions in Indonesia, and Box Office Sports in Ghana. So
that means he will be working. Probellum will be working with pretty much the world. The promotion from all over the world that we mentioned. He will be working with them in a co-promotion, and as well as here in the Philippines. So, or there in the Philippines. So
here, there, same
yeah,
thing.
here, there, same thing. We're everywhere.
So Richard has always. This is Nonito's quote. Richard Schaefer has always been a fighter's first promoter. I'm convinced that with his vision, leadership skills, and passion for the fighters, he will elevate the sport and, most importantly, continue to empower fighters. So
we have Richard.
We have Nonito likes to preempt everything. We want to invite the biggest hearted promotional person I've ever met and a great friend to us.
Yes.
Mr. Richard Schaefer.
Thank you. The royal couple of boxing. Look at them. Look at those belts behind. And if you don't know, they are not just all of them Nonitos. There's actually one which is Rachel's first female trainer ever to get recognized by the WBC with the belt. I mean, congratulations to you. And of course, the 9-division world champion, 4 different weight classes, a close friend of mine. And I'm so honored and proud to be your promoter, be your friend, and to be on this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
So a lot of people are wondering who you are, and I want to give you the stage to give the background, and Nonito will be the translator to kind of give some.
Well, I don't want to. I'll translate in a bit. I think that we should let Richard have his thoughts and allow him to speak everything that he has to say, and I'll go right after that.
So let's talk about your background, Richard, because a lot of these millennials, of course, are new to boxing, so they're still playing catch up.
Well, thank you. Yes, so I was born and raised in Switzerland from a traditional banking family. My father, my grandfather, my sister, everybody has been in banking. My sister actually still is. And so the expectation was for me to go into banking. And when you grow up in Switzerland, you really have banking, you have watches, you have chocolate, and most people end up in one of those three. And so I ended up in banking. I came here to the United States in 1988 as a young man, really not made much more than a suitcase full of dreams. I must admit I had my swimsuit in that suitcase as well, because after all, I came to Los Angeles. And I started my banking career here in Los Angeles with a bank which is known now as Union Bank of Switzerland, UBS, which is one of the largest banks in the world. I worked my way up and became the head of the Los Angeles office, and then the whole region, the Western United States, and finally the deputy CEO for the entire United States. And back in '92, when a young fighter came back with the gold medal, Oscar De La Hoya, I became friends with him because through a mutual relative. And in 2000, he approached me and asked me if I would be open to join him and form a new promotional company. I did that. My family wasn't very happy back in Switzerland. They thought I was crazy to leave banking and go into boxing. But I never looked back and I never regretted it. So we started Golden Boy Promotion, and I was the CEO for Golden Boy Promotion from its beginning up to 2014, when I decided to leave and that it was time to move on. During my time at Golden Boy, I was fortunate to really build it up into the biggest and most prestigious global boxing promotion company in the world back then. I was fortunate to promote many of the greatest champions of our time. Since 2007, I promoted all of the man who is right here behind me, Floyd Mayweather. All of his fights you see in the outfit there behind me. The Executioner, Bernard Hopkins, but so many other fighters: Marco Antonio Barrera, Juan Manuel Marquez, Sugar Shane Mosley, Vinky Wright. You see over there Ricky Hatton, Paulie Malignaggi, Marcos Maidana. I mean, the list goes on and on. In all, I was able to promote over 400 championship fights, which actually I think, as per BoxRec, puts me on number 3 of the list of most championship fights promoted by a single promoter. So I'm very proud of what I achieved there. Then I left those days behind, and I focused on stepped away from boxing, focused on real estate here in the San Gabriel Valley in Los Angeles, particularly with the focus on the Asian segment as well. And then started with some friends, Ringstar Sports. We signed some fighters, and now I started with a group of very, very smart people. Frankly, the smartest people I ever met. I started Probellum, which is a sports and media company, a promotional company, and we're really here to change the sport. It is certainly the best capitalized promotion business as well. So we're very excited to build up the sport and unify the sport and do something continue to do something which I have done throughout my career as a boxing promoter. And Nonito knows that, and Rachel knows that. And I think that's one of the reasons why we get along so well. That is to empower fighters, make fighters get the right fights and treat them right and treat them fair. And that is sort of like what I'm known for. Among fighters, I'm known as a fighters promoter, a promoter who looks out for the fighters he promotes.
Yes, and I could attest for that. Sorry, Nonito had to go make the boys be quiet. But we could attest for that. And like I said, in my quote, there are a lot of boxers, a lot of fighters, a lot of families of boxers that we have talked to, and all of them have nothing but the best things to say about how humble and how compassionate Richard is for boxers.
Well, that's the most important. I always say that you need to treat the talent right. You need to treat the athletes right, because without fighters, meaning we as promoters, but not just us as promoters, the TV networks, the managers, the sponsors, and most importantly, the fans. What do they have without the fighters? We have nothing. There is no boxing. There is no sport. So those people which really are the sport and make the sport and risk their life and put their hard work, their sweat, blood, and tears into this. And I'm not just talking about fight night. I'm talking about the camps, the preparations, the sparring. People don't see that. I see it. So how can you not treat them right? I mean, it goes, I don't understand it. And that was always my philosophy, and I'm certainly going to continue to do that. I'll never change.
Well, I know that for sure, and I mentioned this earlier before you came in. How much trust this business needed, and when you came along in that picture, I mean, pretty much that says it all. My loyalty and my friendship goes along with it, but you were that one person that really truly allowed me to feel safe in this sport.
Well, and what I like as well. I like to give opportunities, and we talked about that before, Nonito. After you left Top Rank, there was a lot of doubters out there. They said, "Oh, he's too old, and he's like maybe he should retire and things like that." And that happened to you, but you're not the only one. It happens to a lot of other fighters as well. They're basically only as good as their last win. And when a fighter loses, in your particular case, it wasn't even a just decision. You should have had that fight against Magdaleno. You should have won that fight. That was your fight. But be it as it is, in the sport of boxing, fighters, athletes are written off so quickly. And we have to change that mindset, like look at UFC. A fighter, you have champions which have like 10 wins and 4 losses, and they're not so caught up about the losses. It's about entertainment. It's about bringing your best and giving your best effort. And you are a shining example in that, Nonito. You are must-see TV. And so I couldn't believe how lucky I was when you came and we sat down, and finally, after all these years, it was always my dream to finally work with you. And that we talked about that many times. And finally it happened. So I was just really, really thrilled. And that's the kind of opportunities but I know you as well, want to give to other fighters. And you have so much to give still as a fighter. You're a world champion, and you have your goal set on unifying the division. There's so many goals still out there, and I'm just proud to be part of that journey. But at the same time, I think now we are starting to lay the foundation for what is next once you do retire. What is next for Nonito Donaire? And you have so much to give, so much knowledge, so much insights. You dealt with managers, different managers. You dealt with promoters, different promoters. You fought in different countries. You won fights. You lost some. How do you deal with the loss? So imagine that knowledge you have as a fighter, how valuable that is for young fighters. And for you to be willing to share that knowledge and that experience, that is, you're going to continue to give to the sport so much more.
Well,
Thank you, Richard.
thank
I'll
you.
do my best as always, and it's great to be working with a really amazing and trustworthy person like you. So it gives me a lot of hope. It gives me a lot of dedication.
And I think if people haven't seen yet, Nonito had announced, Richard had announced, Probellum has announced that we have signed with Probellum. And I think this is a great question coming from Pete Croft. What's the unique aspect of Probellum compared to BBC, etc.?
Well, we really want to unite. And in the past,
Yeah.
and I have to admit, I was one of them. One of those promoters who like to play in their own sandbox. And whether if it's all of the promoters, whether it's me when I was at Golden Boy, or whether if it's PBC or Aram or Eddie Hearn or whoever it is, all of them, they sort of like to play in their own sandbox, and there is nothing wrong with it. But what you really do is you don't give the fighters necessary all the opportunities. So what we want to do, we want to unify. We want to change that. We want to work with everybody. We want to work with every promoter. And if we do have a great fighter, for example, like a Nonito Donaire who signed now with Probellum. Does that mean that he can only fight on Probellum promoted shows? No. No, he can fight wherever the right fights are. If they are with PBC, they're with PBC. If they're somewhere else, they're somewhere else. We don't want to stand in the way for the fighter to achieve his dreams. And I think that is fundamentally a different philosophy. Thinking outside of your sandbox, think about the playground, the whole playground. The playground's name is boxing, and we want to play in boxing. We want to be part of everything. And that's why we have started, since our formation about 2 weeks ago, to execute a number of co-promotional agreements with some of the biggest promoters in different countries, but not just in the biggest countries, not just in like the UK or the United States. No. We are thinking about countries which you might say, well, why do they go there? In Ghana, Africa, in Lithuania, in Latvia, in New Zealand, in Australia, in the Dominican Republic. I mean, pretty much anywhere, from all over the world in smaller markets. We want to empower those local markets. We want to lift those markets. And when I say lift, we are going into those markets as sponsors. We are helping with infrastructure. We're helping with money. We're helping with expertise to lift those markets and support these local promoters. And that's really different as well. So far, promoters have really thought about just their home market and not really about the whole world. So for us, that playground, which I call boxing, is not just a particular country. It's truly global. It's truly the world, because there are so many great fighters coming from all different kind of places. And because maybe they are from Ghana or from Nigeria, or they are from New Zealand, or they are from like the Dominican and so on, they don't get the same opportunities. We want to change that. We want to give fighters the opportunity to compete at the highest level, fight for the world titles, and in the process, change their lives. And hopefully we are going to find some which are going to be one day as successful as Nonito is with all the belts behind him. I know that's a tall order and a big ask, but you know what? These young men, these young women from all over the world, they have those dreams. They look up to somebody like Nonito and to Rachel as a trainer, or as a fighter. They look up and they look at those belts and they say, oh, I wish I would have one of them. We want to help them.
Well, I think this is a great question. Will we see more Filipino boxers under Probellum, and how is Probellum going to help the Filipino boxers actually get the exposure that they deserve?
Yes, that's a great question. And I think you, Rachel, and you, Nonito, are going to be very instrumental in that. The answer is yes. Look, if you sort of like have to put the most important markets for boxing, where boxing is a sport, obviously everywhere, but where boxing really is in the fabric of the population and of the people, I think the Filipinos are right there. I've been to many of Manny Pacquiao's fights. I co-promoted many of Pacquiao's fights, like for example Pacquiao and Hatton, or Pacquiao and Marquez, or Pacquiao and De La Hoya. So I've seen the Filipinos. I've seen how they are fired up and how they are excited and how they embrace the sport and the athletes. So absolutely, do we want to sign more Filipino fighters? We want to help to develop and discover the next Nonito Donaire and the next Manny Pacquiao, and we want to help these. And so how are we going to do that? We are going to do exactly what I said before. We will enter into strategic alliances, co-promotional agreements with some of the promoters in the Philippines. We will work very closely with Nonito and with Rachel. They are going to help us. They're going to be like our brand ambassadors and really help us find the right talent, make the right connections, because they know that market so well, much better than I do. And that has always been, by the way, a philosophy of myself. Um, Ever since I entered business, I like to surround myself with people that are smarter than I am, because if I know whatever area of the business better than I do, in this case, the donaires with the Philippines, because if I surround myself with people that are smarter than I am, they're going to make me look good. And if I surround myself with people which are not so smart, they're going to make me look bad. So guess what? I want to look good.
And you look great, Richard. You look great. You look amazing.
I think that's really important to be reaching out to all, like you said, it's not just the big countries like the United States, like Canada. It's the smaller countries that are really not getting this exposure, and they do have amazing boxers. They're just not getting, maybe they'll do a local show and maybe a side TV that's kind of like a really, really small channel with low viewership. This platform, correct me if I'm wrong, will be able to give them that worldwide platform where they'll be able to be seen.
That's exactly the idea. That's another reason why we are signing all these deals all around the world, to bring content, worldwide content, and so that fight fans can see some of these young fighters, which early on in their careers, because before they have not been able to see them, and that we can put together every year or every 6 months sort of like a highlight reel about some of those local fighters, be it like the best knockouts from around the world, or the best rounds from around the world, and the best entrances from around the world. So there's so many things you can do with that, and sort of like get the fight fans excited about a young fighter early on in his or her career. And that's what it is about, empowering, because often when you come from one of those smaller markets, unfortunately, fighters are being rushed into the US market, and they are perceived as opponents, and they're not being properly built up, and they come here as opponents, and often they lose, and then they have to go back in line, where and sort of like early on. So for me, we want to build these fighters. It would be a dream for me to build a young Filipino male or female fighter, and have them actually win the world title in the Philippines. Imagine. And then go and defend the world title in the Philippines. Now, in granted, maybe one would say, well, the money is much bigger in the United States, and that's why all these fights are happening in the United States or in the UK. That's true. But if you sit down with a young fighter and you explain them how important it is to have that connection to the local market, to the local people, to your home country, and yes, maybe you're going to leave some money on the table, but imagine what that does for you going forward. If you can become world champion in your home country, or you can go, if you win the belt in the US, you go home and you do the first defense from the Philippines, things like that. It elevates you to a totally different level.
Well, what I love, and I'm just going to speak on the personality of Richard, is that he is so humble. He is this guy that doesn't need all the glitz and glamour of the boxing world. We just met with him on Saturday, and it was literally just sweats and t-shirt in a great restaurant, an amazing restaurant, amazing resort. And I think that's what I love about you, is that we can talk to you on a level that we're friends. We are friends, and it's not like you are not able to be reached, and that you don't have time for us. You really make time for the fighters and listen to their concerns, and I think that's really important.
That's the most important. I mean, look, when you texted me earlier this afternoon about today's Zoom, we talked in the morning a couple of times, and I told you a crazy busy day. I'm doing a lot of deals overseas, so I have like from early morning to late. I have tonight at 10:30 a Zoom call with Singapore. So So Rachel texted me, "Are you available for a call, Zoom call?" I said, "Yes, of course, always for you." And here we are. So this is like more important than talking to anybody else to be here with you, Nonito and Rachel. So of course, that's what. And what I like as well about you guys. This is how I live my life as well. I always see you together. You're always together. We talked about that.
There's an invisible string you don't see.
Yeah, a string just keeps us attached by the
No,
hip.
you guys are like best friends, and that's exactly how I am with my wife as well. We're like best friends, and you see me and my wife and my boys. I have three boys, which are older now, 22, 25, and 26. But when we were talking about it on Saturday when we saw each other, when you were fighting against Ubali, challenging yet again for another world title here in Carson, California, some months ago, earlier this year. They were all there. My boys were there. My wife was there. They were all there cheering you on. Now, two of the boys have girlfriends. Even the girlfriends came. So, and the girlfriends actually have never been to a live fight. But man, did you make them boxing fans that night? They said, "Whoa, this is the most exciting event we've ever been to because you delivered. You really delivered. It was an amazing performance. I mean, that night, somebody who's never seen boxing, if you watch that fight with Nonito against Ubali, you're an immediate fan."
Thank you,
Yes.
Richard. I was very, very excited. I mean, just hearing this, and I had this experience from the past. How you were saying that everybody just played in their own sandbox. Now that everybody is able, you're giving them that opportunity to fight anyone and anywhere. It gives a lot of hope for a lot of fighter who wants to prove to everybody that they're the best. That was me all this time, all the years. I've always wanted to fight everybody, and now that this opportunity with you and for everybody else that is coming up, to see that there is no more walls to be put in place of fighting another champion.
Absolutely. We want to build bridges. We want to, and it's maybe easier said than done, but we're really going to do it. And I think we are on the right track by empowering these local promoters. And hopefully, down the road, we are going to convince the diehard promoters as well that working together does work. And, I mean, in a way, I can't believe I'm saying that because I was one of them. I didn't believe in either. I mean, I have to be honest, I have to be honest that as great as this all sounds, with unifying and so on, I can't really take the credit for it because it needed somebody else to open my eyes, and that person who opened my eyes was actually two people. It was Ali Shamspoor, who is the chairman of the board of Probellum. He's a very successful businessman based in the UK. He owns a soccer team as well, very passionate about boxing. And he said, look, if we want to elevate, because if we want to elevate the sport and we want to change things, we need to change our mentality. We need to think outside of that sandbox. And he really opened my eyes. And it didn't take long for me to catch on. And it's exactly what I said before. Surround yourself with people that are smarter than I am. And he is one smart guy. So he opened my eyes.
It's just so amazing having you here because of the fact that like we really always followed your lead, really. Like when people were asking, are you guys signing to Probellum, it was never a question in our mind. Like I said in my quote, we'd follow you into the fire. And you are always the one that's leading the way. It's not like you're shoving us in front and we're the ones that are like, what are we supposed to do here? You're the general that's leading everyone, and you're making sure everyone's safe, happy, and you have compassion for the ones that are wounded, and you bring them back up to be healthy again to fight another day.
Yes, look, for me, ultimately the most important thing is, of course, the health and well-being of anyone, of a fighter, because it's a brutal sport. And so I recently talked to a fighter who had some injuries and he wants to come back. And I said, look, I mean, I'm not a doctor, but you do need to go to see the absolute best doctors and get clearance. And I need to be able to talk to the doctor. And if we cannot do that, I suggest that you retire, because it's not worth it. Your health is the most important thing, particularly if you have a wife, if you have kids, which was the case or is the case with this particular fighter. So I know the kid and kids, and I know the wife, and they're just nice people. So I always want to do the right thing. It's not just like, let him fight again and things like that. No, no, no. The well-being is important. But at the same time, if you get cleared, if a fighter gets cleared by a doctor and it's okay to fight, then let's give that fighter the opportunity to fight. Let's give them the opportunity to make a living, and let's give them an opportunity to win those fights, and that's what it's all important. That's why it's so important. What is important as well, and you touched on that, Rachel, when I do an event, I'm always there from the first round on. I mean, from the first fight on, I want to be there, and I want these young fighters to see me ringside, cheering them on. Before the fight, I go into all the fighters' locker rooms, even those I don't promote, which are perceived as opponents, and I go and wish them good luck. And after the fight, I do the same, and if somebody loses, like perfect example, when Nonito beat the undefeated Nordin Ubali, the WBC world champion, and Nonito knocked him out in Carson. I talked about that fight a little while ago. Of course, I'm with Nonito. Of course, I'm in the ring, and of course, I'm happy and hugging Nonito and all that. And of course, I'm going to the locker room with Nonito. But you know what I did as well? I went as well into Ubali's locker room, and I went to give him words of encouragement. It was his first loss. I didn't promote him. He was not my fighter. And you know what I told him? I said, look, I'm going to talk to the WBC to make sure that you are going to stay relevant in the rankings, that you're going to continue to be highly ranked, so that down the road you're going to have another opportunity and you're going to become world champion again. Again, is not my fighter. I have nothing to gain. I'm not going to make a penny off that, but it's the right thing to do.
It's just amazing, every single thing that you do. I mean, I don't even know what to say half of the time when you come up with these amazing ideas and amazing partnerships like Probellum, and give the fighter really what they want. Like, and as much as Richard said that he was in the ring when he won with Ubali, he was in the locker room after the Ubali fight. I need to emphasize that during the losses, he was also in the locker room. He was with us with the Carl Frampton loss, and especially with the Inoue fight. He didn't leave our side. He didn't just scuttle out of the arena when he lost with his head down and, said he had meetings. He was there for us when we needed him the most. And usually that is the time in a locker room after a loss.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's why it's like I have a string with Richard too. So wherever Richard goes, I'm gonna be there, because he's been there, and I can attest to that. He's like a family to me. Not only that, the respect that I have for him, but mainly for all the times. I mean, I've been with many people, and I've seen many people, and through thick and thin, Richard has always been there the same way. So that's why my loyalty will always be there. It's a
Thank
partnership.
you. No, thank you. I feel the same way, and you're just an amazing man. The way you carry yourself in and outside of the ring, and I'm like you mentioned the Frampton fight. So for those, you can probably watch it on YouTube. When the fight is over, I don't think they didn't even announce yet the winner or who won the fight. You see me jumping up on the ring apron, and you see me talking to Nonito right there. I mean, the fight barely stopped, and I asked him a question, and I'm sure you remember. I asked you,
Yes.
can you move down to 118? And the Frampton fight, I think, was like at 126, right? Or was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at 126. So I said, can you move down to 118? Usually for, it's not an easy thing, because once you gain weight, it's difficult to lose it. But look at, so Nonito said, yes, I can. Why? I said, well, I'm going to tell you why later. I just needed to know if you can. And I didn't tell him that night, or not even the next day, why I asked him that question. But as I was sitting there, I thought like, whoa, at 118, Nonito will beat the big man. He will beat the big man. And the other guys who moved up from 112 to 118, they're going to be the little guys. And I think that's going to be great for Nonito to be at 118. I don't think anybody at 118 can beat him. And so then there was that tournament which we announced shortly after the World Boxing Super Series, which of course had the 118 weight class as one of the featured weight classes. And I was on the board of the World Boxing Super Series, and I called the following week after the Frampton fight. I called my friends over there, and I said, look, I like to put Nonito Donaire into the tournament. And they said, yeah, but it's impossible. He can't make 118. We would love to have him, but he's older now. And usually older fighters, they can't really move down in weight. They move up in weight, but not down. And it's too risky. What if he doesn't make weight and then we have a problem? And he says, look, you don't understand. He is the ultimate pro. If Nonito tells me he's going to make 118, you can take that to the bank. He's going to make 118. He never, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think you ever missed weight.
No, never in my entire career from the amateurs.
Exactly. So you see, I didn't even know that, but I knew it. I didn't even have to ask you, because I knew that's the pro you are. And then of course he entered the World Boxing Super Series, and the rest is history. They thought like, oh yeah, it's going to be probably, he was like, there were like 6 fighters. I think you were like seeded number, I don't know, 5 or something like that. They thought like
8 or something. I thought it was the last one.
It was 8 fighters, yeah. So they saw like the last ranked fighter. They thought like, yeah, he's done. There's no chance. I said, you watch and see. He's gonna win this thing. He's gonna win this thing. And sure enough, he just breezed through the opponents, became WBA world champion again when Ryan couldn't continue, and became world champion again, and then goes into the monster's den in Japan, in his backyard for Inoue, and it turned out to be fight of the year. He shattered, not only broke, he shattered Inoue's eye socket. Inoue couldn't fight for I don't know how long, like almost a year or 8 months or something like that. And then the fight was fight of the year. And even though the fight didn't go his way, as I was sitting there, just like after you lost with Frampton, when I was sitting there and watching you, I knew what the next move was going to be. And I knew what the next move was going to be. The next move was on Monday after the fight. I got on the phone with Mauricio Suleiman. You look at back there, you see these WBC belts. He is like very close. Nonito is very close with Mauricio Suleiman, was very close with Mauricio's father, Don Jose Suleiman, was actually Don Jose Suleiman's favorite fighter. And I've learned from Mauricio. And I called and I said, look, Nonito is a legendary fighter, a legendary WBC champion. You should make him mandatory to Ubali. And that is exactly what happened. So it's about not giving up. It's about planning and putting the things in motion then. And it's a little bit the same with Probellum. You not just go out there and you're like, oh, today we signed this guy and tomorrow no. It's about what we're doing right now with your help, Nonito and Rachel, in the Philippines, but really on a global scale. We're building the foundation of Probellum. And as it is the case with a tree, if a tree doesn't have strong roots or a house, you take a shortcut on building the foundation, it will not stand. So we're not going to rush. We are going to build a strong foundation. And I get asked and emailed and text, like when I tell you, not dozens, but hundreds of fighters who would like to sign with Probellum. Hundreds. So that is not the point right now. And we are going to be very selective on who we are going to sign to promotional agreements. We want fighters which are not just going to be, which obviously can fight, which carry themselves in a positive way, which are ambassadors to the sport and are positive, and can be role models. And so this is important for us to do that.
Well, I think this question is a great ending question for our interview, because I don't want to take too much of your time. But this is exactly what we've been talking about: is if there are possibilities that Probellum can partnership with the local promoters in the Philippines to search for fighters.
Absolutely, and you could actually answer that question, because funny enough, the three of us, Nonito, Rachel, and me, we talked about exactly that in length when we had our get together on Saturday, and then this morning again. And it's the honest truth. I mean, we did talk about exactly that, because yes, we want to enter into co-promotional relationships in the Philippines. We want to empower local promoters in the Philippines. And as a matter of fact, Rachel and Nonito are going to reach out to some of them over the coming days, and then we are going to see on who we're gonna work with. But that is exactly right. That's about building the foundation in the Philippines. It's not just about, let me sign this guy, let me sign that guy. That's like the old thinking. We want to sign with a promoter, a local promoter, empower them. And empower, what does that mean? Give them money. Yes, give them money. We're not going to go there and ask for money from them. We're going to go there and give them money to empower them, that they can build their business, that they can attract talent, and that they can build up talent. And if you want to become a superstar, a global superstar, how can you become a global superstar if you're not even a star in your native country? So it starts there. We need to build you up as a local star, a regional star, a national star, and then we take you to the United States. We're not going to just have you build up a record, I don't know, 10-0 or whatever in the Philippines, and then you come over here to the US as an opponent and you lose, and then you go back. No, that's not we want to build up the right fighters the right way and give them the right opportunities.
I think that's amazingly appreciated in the Philippines. Like we said, we know the struggles that Filipino boxers have there, because it's such I mean, there's 7,000 islands and et cetera, et cetera. Yes. And getting that global recognition. And you are completely correct. Building up from the grassroots, like you said, the roots of a tree. So when they come into the world stage, they have that backing of their people, their kababayans, their friends, their neighbors. Everybody in their grassroots level already knows them. So you don't have to bring them, like you said, barely known, and then they go as an opponent, come back, and then people really don't support them because on a world level, they had seen them already lose. We want to make sure that they are built where they have that support, that if they do fall, they only fall amongst friends.
Right.
Exactly.
And I know for sure, just the inspiration that you give from all of these guys, and we've already assembled to create something great with your help, to help all of these guys. And me as a fighter, I've seen so many talented fighters in the Philippines that were never supported, and with your help, they will all see the spotlight and the stage when they're able to.
Now, this is the last question. Sorry, Richard, but this
No,
is a good
no, by all means.
Where can we watch the Probellum fights?
Okay, so we are in the process. One of the people we hired, so we are going to do our own events in the United States, but we are going to be, as I said before, we're going to place our fighters on different fight cards as well. So they might be on ESPN, they might be on PBC, on Fox and Showtime, they might be on all different kind of Matchroom, I mean on the Zone, they might be on all different kind of promotional thing. But at the same time, we of course building up our own network relationships, both domestically here in the United States, but as well internationally. And the idea is as well, as we are entering all these global relationships I mentioned before, Ghana, Australia, all these different markets, New Zealand, and so on, Dominican. We actually hired somebody who is, again, the smartest in this particular space. His name is Eric Winter. Eric Winter was the CEO of Rivals.com, big online platform, which then became part of Yahoo. And then he was at UFC for a long time. He's the one who built up the UFC Fight Pass. The UFC Fight Pass is a platform, a digital platform where you can go and watch content. You can watch UFC fights, you can see background and information, and you can read and you can watch and you can purchase merchandise, all sort of things. So really a digital portal. And we are in the, so Eric Winter, that guy who built up the UFC Fight Pass, is now the chief operating officer for Probellum. And he, one of his many tasks are to build up a digital platform for Probellum, which is going to become sort of like the home for fight fans, where if they're interested and they want to see those fights from all over the world, for example, Philippines, if they're going to want to watch it, it's going to be on that website. So he is currently in the process of building that. It's not up yet. We actually talked to 3-4 different vendors about helping us build it, the technology background, to have the right infrastructure that you can watch this in a high definition way. I mean, there's not going to charge. It's not going to be no charge to watch that, so it's going to be free for all. And we just want this sort of like to be the place where fight fans can go and watch fights, fights from different countries, different places around the world, fights which they wouldn't be able to see otherwise. And I believe we actually had an executive call this morning. I believe that this platform is going to be up and running in different stages as we're building it, but the plan is to have it ready to go by sometime in December on a full scale. So we will see how that goes.
I can't thank you enough for coming on such short
thank
notice.
you.
I
Thank
know
you,
we
Richard.
call you a lot.
Now you can translate all of that, okay?
Yes, I will translate all of that. No problem. No, it's very simple. One of the best out there, one of the kindest out there, and they will help Filipino fighters. That's all that there is to it to explain.
Yeah,
we will do that together.
In such pleasure.
We will do that together, Nonito and Rachel, and I'm proud to call you first and foremost my friends. And as I told you when we were there and looking in your eyes, I will never disappoint you. I'm there for you guys, and we're gonna be together now, and we're gonna be together tomorrow and way after. All the best to you, and all the best to the Filipino fight fans. They really are. The Brits are amazing. The Mexican fight fans are amazing, but you guys from the Philippines, you are right up there. You're passionate about your fighters, you're passionate about your culture, and you're passionate about the fights and sports. So thank you, because without fans, we don't have anything either. So a big shout out to the Filipino fight fans, and most importantly, I have to end with that. A big shout out to the Filipino fighters, those young men and women, which we don't even know their names yet, who are maybe training somewhere in one of those gyms in those 7,000 islands you mentioned, and they have a dream to become like you one day. Don't give up on your dream. That's what I tell them. Don't give up on your dream. And we, Nonito, Rachel, me, we will do whatever we can to empower the Filipino fighters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Richard, for taking the
Richard.
time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do
I'll
you
talk to you
wanna-
guys later. Thank you.
So Schaefer_sports on Twitter. And there's a Probellum one as well. Am I correct?
Yes,
Probellum here?
yes.
So
Same.
if you want to
Thank
keep
you,
up
Alan.
with all the news updates, they'll be there. Thank you so much again, Richard, for
Thank you.
coming by to our
All
little
the best. Have a good night. Thank you. We'll talk
you,
later.
Richard.
Thank you. There you go,
Alright,
guys.
guys. Magtatagalog na ako ngayon. Nanonosebleed din ako eh. Kasama ko sa inyo dyan. Yun nga po ang ano ni Richard, pinakamabait talaga ito at ang unang-una sa kanya ay safety and safety sa mga boksingero, and most of all to help them para makaunlad sila to find their success. So yun po, kaya nga nandun po yung loyalty ko kay Richard kasi pinakamabait talaga, and most of all hindi lang sa yung mga promotion nila, but he always looks out for all the fighters. And I that's why for me I would go to war for that man because he's helped me out tremendously. So
I mean, he listed out for you guys how, if you guys were not paying attention or you guys hadn't tuned in yet, how Nonito came back from all of his losses. He really is a very big shadow behind that moves pieces and has a vision for the future. Even
Yes.
before you're thinking about the future, he's already thinking about your future.
Yes.
As long as you're healthy and you're still game for the game of boxing, he still continues to put his best foot forward and make sure. Let's see. Sorry. How do I work this? Oh, see, Morena
Rena
Cebuana.
Cebuana.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
guys
this will
so
definitely
much.
go to one of our makatabang din na sa Pilipinas nga ang inyong donation mahatag na mo sa ilaha nga makatabang. So salamat kayo. Thank you for that. But again, we're just here to para makaano tayo, makatulong din tayo, at saka nakita nyo ang ano ni Richard, ang gusto niyang what will happen dito sa Pilipinas. And ngayon po ay nagre-reach out na po kami sa mga promoter dyan sa Pilipinas at mabibigyan natin ng future yung mga Filipino boxers.
Yes. So you heard it from his mouth. There was someone who had asked if Richard was willing to work with yung local promoter sa Pilipinas. That is huge, no? Usually if you're going to work with a promoter, it's going to be, okay, let's just put it so with the States, okay? If you are a promoter that wants to help another promoter, co-promotion or whatever, usually you're going to go to the biggest promoters, diba? You're not going to go with a promoter that only had yung laban sa high school gym lang. You're not going to go with a promoter that you haven't seen really do anything. At I think, you guys are making great suggestions here. If you guys are thinking, actually, you know what? Let's open that up. Who do you guys think would be the best promotions to go for in the Philippines? I mean, to really co-promote. And you heard from Richard's mouth, they're not asking for money. It would actually be them giving money. Hi, Lou. I saw you.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I was like trying to read the chats and then also pay attention to Richard. I didn't see your text.
Oh, and another celebration in Morena Cebuana, our very first donators in this.
Yes.
Grabe. So with that, I will definitely subscribe back to you. So thank you for that, by the way.
And let's give her a big round of applause. Wait,
Wala.
is that-
Thank you. Yeah.
There you go.
round of applause.
Yay!
Thank you so much, you guys, for all the support. If you guys haven't figured this out, basically we were monetized today.
Yay!
Time.
Congratulations, Beyond the Ring.
Thank
with Nonito and
you.
Rachel.
Without you guys, we wouldn't have made it this
Yes.
far, no?
So maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagbibigay ng support, continuous support. And we will continually bring you guys yung pinaka the best na guest na gusto nating malaman ang usapan at ang mga information galing sa boxing. Hindi lang sa boxing, lahat-lahat po from artistas to our friends to everything that will inspire all of us dito sa Pilipinas. So that's our goal here, is to inspire and motivate the Philippines.
Yes.
Wow.
What did you think about
Oh.
his interview?
Subscribe na ako.
Morena Cebuana, we
Morena
already
Cebuana.
subscribed
Nag-start
na.
na ako, okay? So thank
Oh,
you.
there's another super chat.
Huh? There's another one?
There's another one. Oh, super chats are coming in.
Saan?
Can you see it? Suntok Pilipinas.
No.
Oh no.
Saan? Sorry. It's green, no?
Up there.
It's
ganun.
blue. Suntok Pilipinas is giving super chat as well as Gerald Tangliben.
It's not coming up.
Yeah, it's not coming up.
Sandali.
let's
Okay,
look
there's
on that
Morena.
Yan,
I
yan,
can't post it if it's there.
Okay.
What's happening?
So, again, thank you guys sa inyong pagbibigay
Maybe
ng
sa baba.
support at saka again, ipapatulong natin sa lahat ng mga nangangailangan sa Pilipinas. Or is that the one?
I'm trying to click on it.
This one. Yan,
Sorry.
Gerald,
Yan, I saw that one.
Taglibin. Salamat
Tangliben.
po.
And there's one from Suntok Pilipinas as well, which is
Thank you.
Before or after?
it's before Gerald Tangliben.
Okay. I'll go slowly. Go ahead.
Thank you, Gerald Tagliben.
Yan.
Thank you, Suntok Pilipinas. Support ako dyan. Love you guys is what he said. Yes.
Thank
there.
Thank you, Suntok Pilipinas. Thank you, brother. Thank you po. Marami pong I'm very humbled for all of your kindness. And again, this is just been one of amazing with si na-confuse ako kasi English si Richard eh. Saka pa yung
Yeah.
English pa yung nasa isip ko. So,
Ang galing, no? Ang galing na.
mabait na mabait talaga yun. Richard is one of the most humble person just I've known. Kaya nga nandun po yung loyalty kasi ako po pag maayos if you're kind to me, I will be 7 times kind to you. Parang ganun. 7 folds po ang ibibigay ko sa kindness nyo sa lahat ng mga inibigay nyo na support. So I'm really grateful for all of this. So yun po ang ano ko lang is to recap ang sinabi ni Richard. Ngayon ay yung promotion po nila ay it's nagko-promote po sila ng maraming promotion all around the world, as he mentioned, no, yung mga sa Africa, sa Southern America, sa Australia, New Zealand, and Asia as well. At saka ngayon na narinig niyo po ay mabibigyan natin ng oportunidad yung mga Filipino boxers. So we're on the
Wow.
the process na po na we're reaching out sa mga promoters sa Pilipinas at mabibigyan sila ng financial support in putting the fight at mabibigyan ng mga fights ang mga Pilipino without kulang yung mga sahod nila. This time they will be treated fairly.
Okay.
Nice.
Can you get my drink?
Yes,
'Cause
ma'am.
I'm thirsty.
But okay.
Okay, and while this is the intermission of Sir, at anong oras na? Hi, the boys have to go to sleep. Okay, they'll go to sleep.
Okay.
So while we're waiting for Sir to come back, can you guys tell me who you guys think are the promoters we should be talking to? Kasi parang si Sir Richard gave us that direction that hindi commanded. So can you guys help us? Tell us who you think we should be reaching out to sa Pilipinas for promotional. Let's see the chat.
I think
Revive.
we have a connections here, Ma'am Rachel, for those people. Especially I think Pao Salud knows a lot. So He's been going to the grassroots levels, which is kaguluhin ka na. Yung sinasabi ni Richard Schaefer kanina na grassroots level na nagsisimula mga boxers. And what I can see is, well, the Pauka Sport has been promoting those fighters ever since. So shout out to Pauka Sports. Kung halimbawang we could connect with them. And
And
they're saying Omega Sports, Ala Promotions, plus maybe Glenford Boxing and Fitness Gym, if possible.
I think it has to be like a promotional that is doing parang they're doing TV na.
Trainings, right?
Hindi.
Those
Kasi they have
or
to be doing events. Or
events as
they
well.
can do events. Pero
Yeah.
yung events have to be able to be streamed. So,
Oh, yeah. I think the people here could make suggestions because I think there was a YouTube upload by Pauka Sports promoting one event. This was during the pandemic. Let me check on that as well.
okay. Because we have Ala promotion and a Lorde is what people are saying.
Yeah,
Only thing with Ala, diba? They already, parang they disbanded. So, you can't
that's what I
just,
think. Yes,
oh nga.
I hope
So,
they
it
do this
has
here
to
right
be,
now.
Pao Salud knows them all. I think Pao knows a lot of people naman. Like, actually
I
everybody.
could coordinate with Pao regarding that, man.
Hindi
Uh,
pa. Kasi we just had yung conversation. We talked about it a little bit on Saturday
okay,
with Richard. And then before yung sparring ni Nonito, I talked to him for maybe 10 minutes lang.
okay. If you
Um,
need, we could do it offline, but you could discuss now what's another topic. Na,
no, yeah, I just like to see what everyone's saying. Like,
oh
what
yeah.
do they think? Kasi like there's, you see different answers. Yes,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. That's good.
Pao is knowledgeable
Didn't see
and
the chat
he's
here.
very kind. Ano yung American Embassy promotion? Ganun ba?
Guys, let me say to you that please refrain from making comments no na unnecessary right now. We're trying to help the Filipino boxers with the with the Probellum right now because they're
Hello po.
making comments that's
But,
not true.
so, yun,
Lou is talking.
ganun ba?
Some people are making jokes right now, so we'll sort this out because
Okay,
like this one, American Embassy promotion, that's a joke or something.
that's what I thought. He said
Mga
American
pre,
Embassy.
paki-refrain muna. Yung valid na tanong ni ma'am, sagutin niyo ng tamang sagot kasi ang gusto ni Ma'am Nonito and Champ Nonito and Ma'am Rachel is to really open up Probellum for the Philippines.
At
Yes.
saka ito yung pinakamalaking pagkakataon for mga Filipino boxers kasi wala po to silang hinahanap kung di lang
Oh,
yung magaling na boxers natin at mabigyan sila
yes.
ng stage na
Yeah.
maipakita nila yung talents po nila. Hindi
Mhm.
lang na may promises. Ang
Oo.
promise lang po nila ay mabibigyan nila ng laban and of course, ipapatupad ng mga boksingero kung magaling sila. Yun lang po ang pinaka best promise po na mabibigyan ng laban
Yes.
ng Pilipinas, ang mga Filipino fighter at makikita nila sa buong mundo na maraming magagaling dito sa Pilipinas.
Yeah.
Oo.
I mean, I think
Kaya
hearing
Yeah.
it from Richard himself, it was good, no? Sorry, Lou, let me show you yung chat sa side. I disabled it when Richard came in kasi parang he didn't, he's not used to yung viewer comments.
that's good.
Okay.
Yan,
So yeah, do
nandun
you
na,
see it
Leo.
na? You see it
Okay,
na?
I'm seeing the comments here on the side now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yun po, kung ano man yung mga question nyo po sa Probellum,
Yeah.
tatanong nyo po para I can reach out to them as well. As you know, me and Richard we're very close friends. So para din na maano
Whoa.
tayo.
Super chat.
Oh.
Catch
Catch
me
me.
if you can. Support Pinoy Boxers. Congrats, champ and Mom Rachel. Brother,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you for your kindness. Thank
Pero
Thank
you.
parang
you.
it's a challenge. Do you really want him to catch you? Kasi he runs fast, no?
Hindi ako napapagod. Unless runner ka, din talo ako nun.
Let's give him a clap.
Wow.
If you
You have a
can,
sampler there? What's
salamat din po. So yun po, narinig niyo po ang plano ni Richard Schaefer at Probellum na matulungan hindi lang sa Pilipinas, hindi lang the world, especially dito sa Pilipinas with my help to reach out to sa mga Filipino promotion. So very very excited po tayo diyan. At saka we have other news as well kung for the December 11 fight. For now, we can't disclose it yet kasi wala pa sa press. But alam na namin kung sino yung lalaban sa December 11.
At you know
Yan.
our big thing was that
At maraming Pilipino.
the reason why we wanted to do this with Richard, yung episode nito, is kasi when it was announced, parang everyone was sino si Probellum, sino si Richard Schaefer, sino, and I think if you weren't a diehard boxing fan, maybe 10 years ago, no, when Golden Boy was
Yes.
on the top, if you weren't a diehard boxing fan then, you wouldn't know who he was. Kasi first of all, he was always behind the scenes. And then
Mhm.
after yung Golden Boy, after he separated from Golden Boy, he did his own thing he hasn't been in the front, like talagang sa front ng promotions for a long time until he found something that really was going to make a difference from your young boxers. At yan, this is Probellum now. And Lou, thank you for nako. I need to get used to this thing. There.
Yeah.
Lou
Yeah,
is posting the Probellum FB page.
Yes.
Let me post it on YouTube din.
Somebody's saying that it sounds like John Wick though.
Ano pa, Kuya Lou?
Somebody's saying that it sounds like the Parabellum movie of John Wick.
John
nga,
Wick.
we've been talking
Akala
about
ko nga
it.
at first.
Like
And-
Filipinos are having a hard time like saying Probellum.
Kasi may Probellum
You say Probellum.
Probellum.
Well,
See?
in Latin, it's there's a quote saying that "Civis pacem parabellum," which means if you want peace, prepare for war. So parabellum is actually a preparation for an exciting thing, which
Maybe
is like a
something we asked him. No, why
Yeah,
the
we didn't ask him
yeah.
that.
Oops.
It's like preparing for a battle or a war. Yeah.
Charles J. Martin, KG Kataraha, ay Bisaya ba na? Facebook friend ko yan. Albert Bagara, Gio Santissima, mga future world champion pero di nabibigyan ng opportunity. Sana matulungan niyo sila, Madam Rachel. Ba't si Madam Rachel lang yung matutulong? Makakatulong din ako, no?
Yeah. I think
siya yung nagagawa lahat eh. So yes, that's very true. Actually, nag-ano na po kami niyan. Nasa listahan na po namin yan sa mabibigyan ng oportunidad with Probellum kung magugustuhan nila.
Yan. Thank you, Lennox. And I think what is Richard Schaefer is saying a while ago, yung Tagalogin ko na lang, no? Gusto niya makipag-meet sa mga promotions para mapakita niya kung sino yung talagang fighter na pwedeng ilaban sa international scene. Kasi pag halimbawa kukuha lang daw dito ng another fighter na untrained, dadalhin sa Amerika tapos matatalo, sayang naman daw yung effort. So mas maganda dun sa grassroots level pa lang, dito pa lang sa Pilipinas, meron na yung nakikita natin na nakikilala. Diba? Yun ang sinabi niya.
Ayun po yung pinaplano niya na makikita ng mga tao yung magagaling na mga boksingero, yung
Yes.
may ang tawag nun, may who has a ano ko kasi English, Tagalog, Bisaya na sa isip ko ngayon eh. Nahihirapan ako eh.
Ang tawag namin dyan, champ, From Jason Casimiro din, sabi tawag niya nila ano ni champ may tahal kung tawagin. It's like tahal is 'di ba yung parang pantasa which may punch na matindi, yung
Yan,
gano'n.
yan. So nga, yun nga po, ang ano po yung pinaplano po ni Richard is to co-promote.
Mm.
Kasama yung mga local promoters natin na mabigyan ng TV opportunity yung mga boksingero at makikita natin hindi lang na sa local fight na kailangan natin mag-present, actually mabibigyan ng Probellum na tayo ay makapanood sa laban
Yan,
ng mga Pilipino with the
yan.
local Filipino promotion.
So I want you guys to know that if I see a comment that parang, I am not scared to answer it. So this is your
Sige.
stage, Ryan, yours. If Probellum's taking care of the rights of the fighters, they should give Casimiro hotel and other expenses. I am just gonna assume that you've never seen yung fight contract kasi yung question mo or yung accusation mo, ganon. Okay? When there's a fight contract signed, of course, yung promoter is gonna fly the fighter to the fight, no? At yung hotel din, where you think you're gonna sleep sa street lang. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just basic.
That's ano po yan, ang ano po diyan, and I know, alam ko na wala kayong experience sa mga ganitong usapan. Usually, kaya nga nagaganap yung laban is because responsibilidad po ng mga promoter yun na mabigyan sila ng expenses, mabigyan sila ng hotel, at saka yung mga flights, 'di ba? Yung mga flights at saka hotel, gagawin yun sa mga promoters kasi sila po yung responsibilidad diyan sa mga ganung bagay. So hindi naman na inibigyan when the fight is there, when the fight is sure, when the fight is signed, the contract is signed, all of that will be done. So yan po ang responsibilidad ng mga promoter. And of course, iba yung training camp, no? Training camp is
Yan.
responsibility of the fighters.
Yes.
Ako ngayon, ako yung nag-house ng mga kasparing ko. Ako yung nagbabayad ng mga kasparing ko. Ako yung nagpakakain sa mga kasparing ko. Sa akin po 'yun. Pero sa fight, pag pupunta na yung mga fight, lahat ng mga accommodation ay bibigay sa promoter po 'yun.
At per diem pa.
At saka yung mga per diem for that week, bibigyan sila ng pera for food, hotel to sleep in, and of course the flight to get there. So yun po ay responsibilidad ng ng mga promoter, at sa yung responsibilidad ng mga boxer is to open the training camp.
Donate for president.
Yan. Kasi siya yung magtatrabaho eh.
Oo nga. Please.
Campaign manager, Rachel.
Yes. Yun po,
Paperwork
if
din.
kung may ano kayo, may mga question kayo bagay sa hindi nyo
Yeah.
alam
Yeah,
yung mga
please guys, make it as a question kasi not a statement para matutunan niyo rin yung sinasabi ni Champ. Gawin niyo pong question.
Yan po.
Yan.
So is $105 enough or fair, Champ?
Oh, that's a good one. I wanted to talk about this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sige.
Let's
We'll talk
highlight
about
this,
Let's
ha?
talk about that. Thank you for the question, the destroyer. Galing ng question mo.
Yan.
Okay.
You just
Fair or not fair?
to be or not to be. That is the question.
We are here sa purse bid kasi yung dalawang promoters, yung camps nila, they couldn't agree.
Yeah, hindi sila nakasundo at saka walang negotiation na nagawa in the time limit of deciding to promote or to announce the fight.
Okay. So that's one. Yung mandatory is kasi si
Butler?
No. Well, si Butler is the mandatory.
Yes.
Pero si Casimiro didn't fight, like he chose to fight Rigondeaux. It
Yes.
wasn't yung mandatory position. So whenever you fight, you have a choice and then maybe a mandatory, then a choice and then another mandatory. it's not always that one after the other, but sometimes they'll allow you 2 or 3 fights, and then the mandatory who's been waiting for you to take up yung mandatory position will ask that they're exercising their right to be the mandatory.
At saka po, it's time. May time po na kailangan maigawa yung fight ng mandatory.
Yes.
May time frame po yun. Hindi lang po na makalimutan yung mandatory. They will come a time na they will exercise their mandatory position.
Pwede exercise.
Yeah.
Pwede.
Exercise, yes.
That's the right word naman.
Oh.
So, I wanted to, can you check yung notes ko sa phone? Kasi parang, what did I say? Okay. So, what I wanted to say is gratitude for the WBO, the 105,000. Okay? You're gonna ask me,
Bakit?
why, bawal ang English dito. Hello?
So,
wait. So, you're gonna ask me, why would Casimiro want that? Why would he be appreciative of yung 105,000? Why would he have gratitude for yung 105,000? Kasi sa tingin mo, maliit lang, di ba? What
well,
is smaller?
Kung kumpara sa laban, di ba, dati? So, yun nga, that's why they're saying that.
I understand.
Yes, I know.
Pero, this is my monologue.
Sige, mag-monologue ka na. Alis na ako dito.
Go, ma'am.
If there is no, okay, here, yan. This is a great question. This is where I was leading to. Chok 127. If there is no promotion, who bid? What will happen? Do you think they would go to a rebid? Pwede. Do you think if there's only one bidder at 105 that they're gonna go mas taas or mas baba?
Yes.
Mas baba, diba? So if no one, let's pretend Probellum didn't bid at 105. Walang bid. Walang promoter that wants to take the fight. What would you do in a bidding that there's no bids? You lower yung presyo. So if you weren't gratuitous.
Nagpapasalamat. Kung hindi kayo nagpapasalamat kasi akala nyo na mali.
Kasi merong oportunidad, merong fight, merong pera pa.
Kaysa wala, di ba?
Exactly. So you could take yung money, that's still pera. There's a lot of people that are hard for money right now. Walang pera, di ba? At then, or wala pera. Which one would you rather do?
May pera o walang pera? May pera, walang pera.
Diba? So, yan. So, understand that if he didn't bid or nobody bid talaga, yung next opening bid might be even lower pa.
Kasi
like an auction pala, no?
Kasi ang ano ng sanctioning body is for the fighters to challenge or to yung mandatory and the champion to defend his title. So kung walang magpo-promote, bababa pa yung presyo. At saka kung walang magpo-promote, bababa pa rin yung presyo. Siguro magiging ako na lang siguro $1. Hindi na lang po mag-promote kasi walang nagpo-promote. So kaya nga sabi ni Madam dito, dapat magpapasalamat na lang kasi at least may nag-bid sa pinaka-minimum ngayon. Kasi pag walang nag-bid, bababa po yung presyo. At saka kung walang mag-bid, bababa pa yun. And yun na po, of course, everybody is gonna, di ba?
Yeah, Queen Strawberry, will the champ be stripped of the belt if no promotions at all? Hindi. That's not going to be a thing kasi, of course, eventually, if you try to promote the bid at $20,000, I'm sure someone will pick it up, no? But the only way he would have been stripped in this situation is if there was a purse bid and he didn't like it and he didn't sign yung purse bid contract, he can be stripped. He could also be stripped if he doesn't make weight. Ano pa? That's pretty much the two, no? So in this situation with yung purse bid, the only way for him to be stripped would be that if he does not accept the bid as the mandatory and the champion, if he doesn't accept it, then he will be stripped.
Oh.
So yun.
Yun po. So, kaya nga, at least nakuha nila yung minimum, no? Hindi kagaya ng siguro kung i-ano natin, yung yung WBC or yung ibang mga sanctioning body, hindi 75-25. Yung sa kanila is what? 40-60-40?
60?
60-40 ba yun?
So,
Sa
which
ibang mga
WB?
ibang mga sanctioning
Yes,
bodies. So mga ibang
depende.
ka-sanctioning body is 60-40. Buti nga the WBO 75-25 yung sa kanila.
Sorry, Gap TV said, ang cute magsalita, walang pera.
Say it again.
Walang pera.
Sabihin mo pa.
Why is it cute?
Cute
Walang
kasi
pera. Walang pera.
yun na po, yun na po. Sana po you guys are ano parang nalaman niyo na ang ano lang kahit basta may meron, magpapasalamat na lang po tayo.
This is a good question. Is there a correlation between the prize and the people who wants to watch the fight? Yes. Kasi if yung marketability of yung fight is not very high, then yung presyo would go lower. If you
Yes.
can see, even see Senator Manny, diba? When he's fighting, if he fights a no-name fighter or yung fighter that's not so taas sa rankings
Or popular.
popularity,
Yeah.
yung purse niya, it drops. Consider,
Yes.
like, look at yung fight with Mayweather, diba? That was so
laki.
funny kasi everybody knew about who Mayweather was. It was relevant. Pero,
So importante po 'yun, no?
yeah,
And
that
importante
is
po 'yun
important.
na depende lang po kung ano kabigat yung pangalan ng tao. Popularity po nila 'yon, at saka the more the popular, kaya nga yung mga YouTuber ang mas malaki pa yung pera kaysa nakukuha nila sa marami mga boksingero because nandun po yung mga supporters niya galing sa YouTube channel. Kaya nga papalakihin natin YouTube channel para malaki yung pera ko pag lumaban ako.
Shout out, discount ni JM.
Okay. Ako ang kinakabahan every time dinidistract ni Champ si Angais! Kaya nga nakakanon ako eh. Kaya nga pag nakasalita ako na-interrupt ko, gano'n ako eh. Nakatitig na ako. Baka tamaan ako, iilang na ako kaagad. So, thank you so much. Okay, totoo po yun.
Magandang training ni Champion.
Pa-shout out po sa tatay ko, Champ. Idol ko po niya. Sinbad Mangguda. Sinbad Mangguda, shout out po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa pagsusupport niyo. Regards. DJ Byron, Music and Topic TV, my boy, man. Thank you so much, brother, sa pagsusupport niyo dito at this kindness and generosity. Maraming salamat, pare. Thank you so much.
And we missed you this weekend.
O nga eh, sana sabi mo, sa pupunta ka kasama ni na ano, marami ka na miss, bro.
Sayang.
As in, at si Toll Mats.
So, maraming salamat po. Maraming salamat po for your kindness again. Thank you guys so much. Mats, Tol, thank you. And regards sa inyo, Jan, man, I'm very humbled. I'm very humbled for you guys and yung kindness nyo. And again, lahat ng mga kindness nyo ay maibibigay ko sa kindness na maibibigay ko sa mga tao. You will that the ripple will always continue. So, salamat po sa inyo lahat for all of that.
See, Byron said next time for sure.
Totoo na ba yan, DJ Byron?
Look who's here.
John Rocks! Hoy, pare! Ako si John Rocks! Hindi naman ganun eh. John Rocks, my boy. APCC, man. Miss Rachel, do you have a plan to train other boxers, especially Filipino boxers?
My training has to belong to yung manager ko.
Ang ano po namin, pinaplano po namin, na moment na marami na kaming naipalagay at ipa-connect sa Probellum, alam ko na mag-open kami ng gym dito at siguro dyan or dito, and put them in one program from diet to strength and conditioning to mental fortitude at saka confidence, kasi kailangan natin lahat po yun para manalo tayo. Just to have all of those.
Di ba, Champ, meron kang Apple Diap was asking you if you could do a clinic dun
Yes.
sa ano niya.
Yes, we're actually talking with Apple DF kasi may gym siya dyan sa Pampanga. So we will be doing yung mga seminars through this
Seminars,
platform na may bibigay ako na tips and tricks of being a fighter.
Yan. Pati sa
Wait.
Glenford din yata, susuporta si Champ.
Watching from Japan. Arigato gozaimasu. So yun po. Harold Garcia Kadukoy. Champ, sana good vibes lang. Layo kay Pugi for Life na toxic. Kami naiinis doon, Sherwin Kupal na sip-sip.
You guys
Babe.
want on. This is a happy channel at positive vibes, no? Please.
Yes, please.
Ano po ito? Ito po yung masasabi ko yan, Harold. Alam ko na anong ginawa nila dati, the words that they said or ganun pa man. Ako po ay kung hindi ako pinagbigyan or ipino-forgive dati ng mga taong na-cross ko, wala pong Nonito Donaire. So for me, I'm open for forgiveness kung ano man yun because hindi nila kilala. Yun yung sinabi ko. My perspective po tayo at my judgment po tayo. What?
Why can't you say perspective?
But
Say perspective.
perspective. You know,
Earlier,
perspective.
you were like,
Perspective na. Sabi ko perspective eh. Ginugulo mo naman yung chain of thoughts ko eh.
Buyoy lang.
Oo. Ano, suntukan na. Yun nga po, Harold, it's to forgive, di ba? It's to forgive. Because kung kakalabanin ko lahat ng mga tao, wala na po ako mapupuntahan. Actually, to be honest with you, kung wala si Sherwin, wala po tong Beyond the Ring. Siya po yung nagawa dito. Siya po yung nag-guide sa amin Beyond the Ring. Even though may sinabi sila dati, but yun lang po, the past is the past. And of course, kung ano man yung mangyari, if there's a backstabbing, then that will be. But for now, alam ko na he has not crossed me and he has been really a friend. And yun lang po mabibigay ko ng respeto. So, yun lang po. Alam ko na may kaguluhan kayo ganito ganyan, but for me, all I see na ginawa nila sa akin, especially Sherwin, Kwelu, and all the guys, David, tinulungan po nila ako. So, that's all I can say in my experience with Sherwin po.
Yeah. Tsaka please lang, wag niyo nang idamay si Champ dun sa toxic na yun. Kung kami na lang. Ako hindi naman ako sumasali, pero kung sinasali nila ako, okay lang. Wala akong problema doon. Pero wag niyo nang damay sila Champ at saka si Ma'am Rachel. Thank you po.
Yeah, we are happy people.
Happy. That's a choice. Yeah. Happy po tayo and it's a choice and therefore, why not choose to be happy, no?
I mean, can you imagine if we came here every night and sobrang like you're just init ng ulo mo? Dito.
Hindi yung ulo kasi may binanggit yung tayo sa last time.
Oh, sino?
Huwag niyo na mabanggitin yun. Huwag niyo mabanggitin. Ibang iba na yun. Ay.
Oh.
Jack, Champ Donaire, other people thought you are the villain, then Casimir is the good guy. They are wrong. Filipino is always a Filipino. Mababait talaga mga Filipino. We concern to each other.
Wow, yeah.
Hindi naman po na good guy or bad guy, no? May perspective po nga tayo. Yun nga po, ang ka-close ni Casimiro, may tinutulungan po siya palagi at ang nakikita nila ay mabait siya. And then on the other side, yung mga kaano ko, katropa ko or mga fans ko, nakikita na mayabang siya. So, ibang perspective po yun, di ba? Tsaka, on my side, sabi nila mabait ako. On the other side, sabi nila elitista ako, na hindi ako nagpapansin ng mga tao. So, yun po. Perspective lang po. And all we can do is forgive the moment na makita natin yung perspective nila.
Super chat!
Super sticker! Thank you! Thank you. Maraming salamat po. Thank you. You guys are the best and marami po matutulungan nyo in the future as this accumulates. So thank you po sa inyong kindness. You guys are the best. So yun na po. We can all learn to forgive and to look at perspective. Di ba minsan pag nasa relationship tayo, yung girl at yung guy, iba-iba yung perspective nila. Nag-aaway sila pero kung titingnan natin, magkaparehas lang pala yung opinion nila or yung outcome sa sinasabi nila. It's more of kung sino yung mas correct, 'di ba? If you're in the line na kung sino yung mas correct, then ang mapapalabas nyo dyan is pag-aaway lang. So
Yes.
ultimately, forgiveness and seeing each other's perspective.
Forgiveness makes your heart feel good.
Yes.
Please forgive me.
Ay, nako.
No,
Yun.
not
Oy, we're
what
gonna
I
get
do.
copyright.
Okay na, wag na.
Sa channel pala ni Paco, pag may nag-super chat, sumasayaw kami. Diba?
Champ, is 105 enough for Casimiro on considering his expense of trade camp? Will he still be able to bring money? Of course. I mean, how much are you spending on training camp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kasi yung, yeah.
Yes. I mean, malaking
You're
pera,
making dollars.
malaking pera pa rin yung 105, no?
What, you're making dollars, $105,000.
Yeah, kasi ini-expect natin at kinukumpara natin yung mga nakuha ni Senator,
alam
yung mga
ko,
ganun.
alam
But
ko.
ultimately,
Pero yung bayad, yung pera sa Pilipinas,
kumpara
dollars
sa dollars.
go a long way for yung training camp.
How
diba?
Oo
long?
nga. What's
Gaano
the
ka
equivalent sa peso?
Yes,
Malaki rin eh, no?
that long. O nga, malaki pa
Getting
yan.
it together.
That's, is it 50 million pa rin or 5 million?
Five,
Five-
parang 5
five.
plus, no?
5 plus million. No?
Yeah.
Oh, malaki pa rin.
50. Yes.
50.
2,
Ay.
4. 2.
That's the whole purse. That's the whole
2
purse.
million.
Kasi-
2 million.
So what's 75% of that, di ba? It's around 3 or something.
Yeah, but he's getting like $78,000. So
Less than 2.
3.5 M
But 3.5.
sa pesos.
Oh,
Which
okay. Okay, sige nga.
conversation are you in?
Okay. Sige na, wag na. Ako kaya nga na sinusunod. Okay.
Hindi, kaya nga,
What's
what I
next?
think about this siguro kung sa training champ, tingin ko, ang gamitin muna ni, kung may sponsor siya, si Champ Casimiro, tsaka yung purse niya dun sa last fight niya, yun ang pan-training niya kasi hindi pa naman niya makukuha yung pera na to eh.
Yan.
3.9.
3.9 million po ang makukuha
Oo. Pagkatapos pa yun ang laban.
pagkatapos ng laban.
Yeah, I mean, there's no
Yes.
way he went through
Malaking
all the money
pera pa rin
from the
yan,
Virginia fight.
3.9.
And Virginia fight was August 14, no?
Mm.
It's only October, not even 2 months. There's no way he used all the money naman.
Yeah.
Yun po. Yun na yun.
Yun na yun.
Yun na yun. Yes, so yun nga magpapasalamat na lang po tayo at saka nabibigyan tayo ng laban, no? As much as may expectation tayo, what is presented, yun lang po ang napipresent.
Yeah.
So, yes, Death Claat Production. Champ, this is just a compliment. Miss Rachel Donaire has the most beautiful eyes in my opinions. Mabuhay to both of you. Thank you. I am honored. Maganda rin yung mata ko, no? Joke lang. Hindi, maganda yung mata nito eh. Nakataral lang palagi.
Reggie Zhao, I don't know where this is coming from kasi we've replied to you from before pa. Pero if you have another question, you have to understand, no? That's something that people have to understand. We don't want you to spam naman. Pero with the comments, parang they're going so super bilis. So if I miss it, I'm sorry na lang. Wait muna, and then maybe if I haven't seen it after a while, then go ahead and put it again. But don't do it like so
Yes,
soon.
marami pong at saka Tagalog po ito, no? At nahihirapan kami magbasa ng mabilis ng Tagalog. So,
Yeah.
yun po.
That's part
So
of my
kung
problem.
gusto niyo mabasa ko ng mabilis, Bisayain na lang para mabasa na ako.
See? Ano naman, I can't read that.
What?
I don't know.
Huwag na kayong lumaya, Ma'am Rachel and Champ. Si Pao Salud, maraming tinutulungang boxer at kilalang
Oh,
promotion.
so that's a good
Yes,
content.
that's
topic
very
there.
good.
Yeah.
Lilibeth Garcia. Pretty name. I like that. No? Lilibeth. Hi.
Yeah.
So, I like the name. So, yun po. Yun lang po is reaching out to everybody yung nakakilala namin and going from there. So, yun po ay is the process na ngayon na ma-connect ko yung Pilipinas and Filipino boxers with the world promotion. with Probellum.
Yes.
Okay, here, Reggie Jal, I posted it, pero I'm kind of confused now.
For a start, you don't ask a man if he's faithful or something. You invest your emotion. And you pray that his love is not a scam. What does that
Are you,
mean?
is
Ano
he
po yung
asking for
point ko
advice
dyan,
or
Reggie?
something?
Is this like a poem?
Poem ba ito? For a start, you don't ask a man if he's
I
faithful
think
or
it's a
something.
statement.
Hindi naman na yun ang inaano eh. Pag nagpupunta ka ng relationship, wala po kayong may expect diyan except to do your best at mabibigyan
Yes.
mo ng love, respeto at kung ano man yung itutuloy niyo yung relasyon niyo, but wala po kayong may expect diyan. Pag ini-expect niyo yan, eh yun nga wala kayong mapupuntahan but away lang kasi may expectation kayo sa isa't isa na dapat ganito yung tao, dapat ganito yung tao kasi iba tayo eh, iba-iba yung mga isip natin, upbringing natin at saka perspective natin.
Yeah.
10%.
Wait. There's two here. Ay, where did it go now? It's in Tagalog, ikaw
Oo nga
kasi.
eh. So yun po, yun nga, yes.
Yan. Okay, the story, 105,000 is also like, yeah, that yung Kalaban promoter training camp at etc. That's what I was saying is that when we calculated it, it was about 78,000. And then we calculated that to pesos was 3.9 million. Which is still a lot
Malaki.
of money. Pero Christian Bautista said tapos 15% sa coach niya. 15%? Who's charging 15%?
Bawal
Meron?
po yung 15% sa in at least dito sa Amerika, bawal yung 15%.
Oh. Guys, get your facts right as well. Nagka-comment kayo na
Iba-iba yung mga iba-iba yung mga
opinion.
negotiation ng mga trainers. Ako, trainers ko libre eh. So, yun na. Trainer ko dito libre ito eh.
No, pero even before,
Alam ko na mga 5% lang yung binibigay ko sa mga trainers dati.
5 to 10.
Pero yung pinakalaki sa akin is 10. Pero sa kontrata ng dito sa Amerika, ang pinakalaki na maibibigay mo sa promoter ay sa trainer ay 12% po.
If they want to get decent sparring here in Philippines, I think Jason will do everything trainer strength. You know, I'm kind of confused yung camp nila. I mean, I think everybody has been kind of confused. Pero from what I understand, he's the head trainer, diba? That's why Tata was so mad that he didn't come to
Yes.
Laban with
Yes.
Rigondeaux.
With
So,
Rigondeaux.
I mean, if anything, he would pay his brother, Jason, and it'd be all in-house lang. So, ewan ko.
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
not
family affair lang naman pag ganun.
yeah. But I'm not gonna get into what everybody's role is kasi talaga I don't know. Walang matitira sa kanya kasi coach ni Yapa.
Huh?
Ni Yapa?
Niya pa 15%.
Sino
So
yung
totoo
coach?
ba yung 15% na kinukuha ng trainer niya? Christian Bautista?
Ay, parang we're making business. Sino yung trainer niya?
Basta
That's
ang
one.
gusto ko lang malaman is dapat like I said before na may facts po yung sinasabi nyo kasi
Yes.
minsan nadadama yung mga boksingero, yung mga coach, yung ibang mga tao na nakasama doon. So, yun po, make sure na yung sinasabi niyo po ay may facts, hindi lang na naririnig ko. Naririnig ko sa kanya, naririnig ko sa kuya ko, naririnig ko sa girlfriend ko. So, with that, if it's a facts, then that's a very high number of percentage for a trainer. Kahit si Pretty Rhodes, hindi ganun eh.
Oo.
Yeah. So, yeah. Please
Tsaka make a comment na na maganda at maayos. Don't just assume, because if you would assume, other people would read it and would take it as true.
Yes.
So you have to have a fact to back it out or documents.
Yes.
Opo. Gosh, these things go so fast. I don't know how you guys do this.
And you say you read fast.
I don't read in Tagalog fast nor Visayan. That's even worse.
Yan. Hello po mga kaibigan, mga kapatid. Balik na po si Nonito Donaire dito sa ating Beyond the ring with Nonito and Rachel.
Dad said, do you
Maikot.
want me to stand behind and do hand signal?
Yes, Tatay Jerry. Kailangan namin yung sa likod ka dito at maggagawa ng hand signal. Or sa gilid, di ba yung sa gilid na may tao dito sa gilid na gumaganon-ganon. Yung maliit lang, yung ganon.
Oh, that's the real name of Sir Jerry. Hello po, Sir Jerry.
Please
Ma'am Rachel,
watching.
is it possible you will become customer manager or promotion?
Ask yung manager ko.
For now po is it's best na ididiretso lang yun sa Probellum kasi but naman may pangalan naman siya, 'di ba? Sa World Championship, but naman kailangan nung yung mga manager. Didiretso na lang siya doon sa promotion kasi alam ko naman na is very trustworthy si Richard, and he will do his best na mabibigyan siya ng malaki at mauunlad yung career niya. So, but siguro kung ibang promotion, siguro kailangan ng manager para ma-negotiate yung kontrata. And of course, yung mga advisor din kailangan din po yun kung kailangan mag-interpret or ganun-ganon. But kung madidiretso na lang yung ano niya, yung career niya, diretso na lang sa Probellum kasi alam ko hindi siya lulukuhin ni Richard.
I think I lost
I
it
think
again.
nagkaayos na talaga si Champ Tata at Sean Gibbons. Tingnan nyo na lang sa latest post
Yan.
ni Sean Gibbons sa IG. Niya, mga picture naman ni Champ Tata ang ganun. Ano pong klaseng
Yan.
picture po yun as
I don't
kayo?
think he was here yet. No, I don't think he was here yesterday.
Last time, yes. In-explain na po ni Ma'am Rachel yesterday na please refrain from doing that. You're assuming things.
Kasi he's saying maybe this one eh. No?
Is that a tweet?
Sa Instagram. Merong picture.
Wala namang sinasabi. Ito po ang kailangan natin, no? But what did they say? Anything?
What? A court? No. He didn't.
Wala ba? Sa baba?
Wala.
So ito po yung ano, ang sinasabi niyo po ay assumption. Bakit? Kahit may picture si Quadralas at si Sean Gibbons or si MP, wala namang sinabi, no? Wala namang sinabi. Ang gugustuhan niyo na magkasundo sila is your perspective na kahit anong picture yon, kahit walang sinabi, sabi nyo na nagkasundo na sila. Well, that's false. Kasi hindi naman totoo. Wala namang sinabi or nag-announce si Sean Gibbons na we are back with Cuadro Alas and we will help them. Wala namang gumaganon eh. Picture lang po yun. That's the thing na sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina or yesterday sa vlog ko is wag po tayong mag-assume. Kasi assumption po, you know, kahit wala namang clarification, yun ay opinion lang po. Yun ay perspective lang po. Pag walang sinabi na, hey, di ganito, nagka-okay na kami, so we're good to go. Wala namang ganun eh.
I think you don't want to make comments. You can say, if this is what I would like to see from young vloggers, if you really think that's what's going on, it's like, you can ask the question on yung vlog mo, no? Itong picture, are they okay na? What do you guys think? Have you heard anything? What did what's the context in yung picture? Are you seeing something that I'm not seeing? Do you believe that they got back together? I don't know, blah, blah, blah. Kasi until you hear it from si Casimiro or si Sean, we are all in the dark talaga. I don't talk to Sean, and of course I don't talk to Tata either. So let's just you ask the question.
In fair as kayo, you said I think. Opinion po nyo yun. So forgive my brash without hindi ko na you think. So yun po, with your opinion po is there's a possibility of that pero wala namang sinabi po na nagka-okay sila.
Yeah, maganda magtanong na lang kayo kay Champ ngayon kung totoo talaga o hindi. Sa mga facts na gusto niyo malaman din. Or if you want, you could get some information from reliable persons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we wouldn't know.
Like Silver Voice. Silver Voice is very reliable.
Yes.
Just curious for customer 75%, how much do you think he needs to spend for a decent spar? Let me just tell you, he sparred today, dalawang boxers they were very good. They were up and coming boxers and they just wanted yung experience lang.
May mahanap po kayo ng mga ganun na mag-ano lang ng experience.
Especially in the Philippines. Kasi these yung young boxers, yung up and coming boxers, they gain experience for sparring with you. I mean with Casimiro. So he has to keep that in mind. At again, yung sparring sa Pilipinas is not as expensive if ever sa States.
Yun po.
Yun na yun?
Yun na yun. At saka, yun nga po, marami pong, kasi sa dati po, alam nyo, pumupunta ako doon kahit ay, Kuya Glenford, hello po.
Good morning. Champ and Rachel.
How did you get there? Would you teleport?
Yeah.
So, yun po. Yun po.
Let's welcome Mr. Glenford.
He was on the
sabi ko, si
where?
Kuya Glenford nandyan. So, Kuya Glenford, Kuya Glenn, yun po, we should do yung mga plano po natin, yung mga seminars or workshops.
Yeah, workshop.
Yeah. Good morning po sa lahat ng viewers ni Champ tsaka ni Mama Rachel, no? Napadaan lang ako, Champ, napadaan lang ako kasi ang bahay, ang gym at itong kay Bro David is mga 5 minutes walk lang ito.
Wow.
Just 4 blocks away.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
there you go.
Tulog na pala si Bro David, tinatawagan ko kanina
Isingin mo.
Alamang Champ.
Tulog yan eh.
Oo nga.
Gisingin ko kasi kagabi.
Sabi ng mga akala mo si Dracula hindi natulog na. Pag lumalabas na yung araw.
Actually, si Bro David, inistorbo ko nito rin kagabi, kaya istorbohin ko din siya ngayon.
Yes. That's funny.
Yan. Oh, you know what? This is a good one.
Paring B, Nonito, Ma'am Rachel, kailangan po ang big announcement. Big announcement. Ano yung big announcement?
Well, I think what the announcement was us signing with Probellum. Pero this is something that you guys should learn, the other boxers, is to realize that when we say something, it's because we know it as fact and we have the permission to say it. No, a lot of boxers nowadays are speaking ahead of when they should be speaking. And I mean to say that as they're announcing fights or they're announcing...
Na hindi pa sigurado.
Yeah, and that hurts negotiations.
Yes.
If you're doing that.
Yes,
So,
kasi marami mga na-experience po namin with her help at parang tinutulungan namin, mabibigyan namin ng laban dito, ganyan. And then, inipost po nila. And then, of course, the negotiation becomes difficult. So, yun po. Kaya nga, let's just always be in facts para...
Facts. Isn't that David's...
Trio taga-fact.
No, David said on his live earlier, he asked him name niya, yung alias niya. And he said, David... Fact. I can't even say it the way he said. How did he say it?
Ewan ko.
Hindi
ko alam yung
Maybe if you guess Rex Navarrete, he could explain that.
Oh, yun eh. Actually, siguro, ang ating susunod na guest, si Rex Navarrete sa ating next,
what do you mean?
Wow.
Next segment. I think that'll be fun. I'm gonna reach out to Rex. He's a really good friend of mine. So siguro for good times lang and laughter. Siguro i-invite natin si Kuya Rex sa ating vlog or ating podcast dito.
Yeah. Fact man,
sabi niya, di ba?
Yeah, but you're
Fact
not saying it like
man.
David.
Fact
You're not
man.
saying it the same way.
Fact man.
Ano ba updates ngayon ng ng tawag dito? sa event natin. Ano ba updates natin?
Yun, Champ, mag-update lang ako. Ang daming naging interesado dun sa ating event sa 31. So, excited na sila. At sabi ko nga, kung hindi namin lahat mapagbigyan dahil ito naman is parang ano pa lang natin, first event pa lang, huwag sila mag-alala kasi napakarami nating naka-line up na event. Isa na nga doon yung boxing clinic na gagawin natin after ng event. Kaya huwag po kayo mag-alala. Lahat po kayo pagbibigyan, lalo pa nandyan si Champ Nonito at Ma'am Rachel para support sa atin. Kaya
Yes.
Yeah. Ay, si David.
David, ibaba mo na dito yung helmet. Kailangan ko yung helmet kasi yung big bike ko. Ikaw ang nag-testing kagabi. Ikaw ang umuna doon sa big bike ko. Ikaw naman ako naman ang una sa helmet mo. Ibaba mo na dito.
Can you
pala ng big bike.
message?
Teka lang. May message dito na.
What are you doing? Now you're gonna break the
Hindi
computer.
Yan. Okay. I don't use ito. Ito no? Sabi mo? Diba?
Anong?
Sa kayo, confirm na po okay na sila Sean at Tata, Ma'am Rachel. Pakitingnan nyo na lang po sa IG ni Sean Gibbons. May upload siya picture ni Pacman at Tata magkasama. At tapos may nag-comment po, sinagot po niya ni Sean yun. That's good kung totoo po yun. Maganda yun kasi ang problema pag nag-aaway-aaway tayo wala tayong maabutan So that's good kung totoo po yun. Thank you sa information nyo asa kayo and good news po sa mga fans natin dito So that's very good.
Yeah. Sean said, Champ, we are great. Casimiro will knock out Butler and bring on the monster. Yeah.
There you go. That was from Sean Gibbons.
Confirm natin yan. Malalaman din natin naman yan pag totoo o hindi. Kasi you would see it in the following days or weeks.
Yes.
After po ma-unify ni Champ Nonito ang bantamweight belts, may chance po ba na umakyat ng timbang si Champ Nonito? Salamat po. Kois mo Marvin, may chance po yun na magawa ko yun kasi okay lang naman sa akin mag-akyat at magbaba ng timbang. Kung may opportunity na malaki doon, then aakyat po ako ng timbang. Vincent, Dieter Padua. Sir Glenn, will you broadcast your boxing event live?
Yes po. Ilalive po natin yan with Champ Nonito at saka ni Ma'am Rachel. Sila po yung magbibigay ng komentary at saka advice kung ano magandang gawin natin during the
Parang may muto sa likod na.
During the medyo, so po si David may other side ito, medyo naman nababading sa akin to lalo pag nagpapatubo ng balbas Then sabi niya, Kuya Glenn, nakaulit ang balbas, patubo ka. So, yan, magkapatubo rin kasi gusto mo si David pagka may balbas ako
Hindi na nakatulog to.
Yeah, why were you on live so late, no?
Kaya nga
yung helmet.
What is he wearing? Are you not fancy?
Sino ako pagkalaw? Tingnan mo muna pag maganda.
Bibiliin mo?
Hindi, palit daw kayo yung motor niya.
Sige!
Wala naman sa mga benta niya na lang. Kahit isang ligo mo kung gawing alipin.
Hindi pala kita yung motor mo.
Hindi ako naka dito, Richard, but I will answer it the way my perspective looks. You must respect a person not because of his high position, influence, or wealth. We ought to respect each other regardless of status in life because everyone deserves equal respect as a human being. Totoo po yun. Number one po yun. Kaya nga, it's always importante, the forgiveness and patience. No, I learned this from my kids because minsan pinapagalitan ko sila at I'm yelling at them and then I realize na I did too much or parang nagagalit lang ako and then sasabihin ko sa kanila, baby, sorry na nagalit ko at I'm yelling at you. Sabi nila, it's okay, Papa. It's okay. Kahit ano man yung gagawin ko sa mga anak ko, they're always forgiving. So I've learned a lot from them of forgiveness and patience. So tama po yan, Reggie Giao, is we always have to be patient, forgiveness, and respect for each other as a human being because we are all equal in the eyes of God. Ganun, di ba?
Yes. Can I add on that one?
The
Champ?
Bible.
Ano pa?
Can I add on that one? Kasi I think respect is actually earned by every person, regardless of the position or wealth. So kahit medyo mahirap siya, and he is respectful to other people, some people would bring respect back to them. But if his character is not really that good, kahit na mayaman siya, sometimes you won't respect those persons din eh. Diba?
Yeah.
So it's not high position, influencers, or wealth. It's actually the character of the person you respect. That's better.
Champ.
Yeah.
Wala pa siyang mga...
Ay, Ma'am Rachel, asa si Champ?
Babe.
Nandito na ako.
Oh, he's just grabbing something. He can hear you, pero he's trying to show you something eh.
Okay, I'll be there.
Nasa base David. Nasa
Why
base
do you
David.
still have yung shoes mo on?
Because tatakbo sana ako eh, na hindi ko in-expect.
Oh! We were supposed to wait. Let David
Okay,
do
David,
it,
show
and then
me.
you have to show yung watch. Ano yung rest period mo?
Nasa phone.
Okay, then you go, David, go.
Go, David, go.
Actually, Champ, birthday na ito ni Kuya Glenn last month. Sabi ko, maliliit yung regalo ko, pero niregaluhan ko pa rin. Kasi bumili siya ng Ducati kahapon, di ba?
Actually, sponsor lang nga yung Ducati natin na 800cc. Sponsor lang yun ng isang kaibigan natin. No? So, si Dave naman na magbibigay sa akin ng helmet. So, unbox ko to, Champ. Ganyan ang kabait si Dave sa akin eh. Actually, nababakalang talaga sa akin to eh.
Wow,
Sweet
happy
David, no?
birthday. Last, belated.
Ano pangalan ng kanya yan? Ng
Jill Helmet.
Jill Helmet.
Yeah, wow.
Napaka...
You can wear it. You have to wear
Teka,
it.
baka ulo yan eh.
Yeah.
Halloween pa naman yan.
Here's
Wow.
the
Wow, look at that.
Nice blue.
Bagay na bagay sa suot ngayon ni
Sergio,
Glenford.
Actually, shoutout, mamaya pa sana ako magbablog para dun sa nag-sponsor ng Ducati. So, banggitin ko rin, salamat sa iyo sa nagbigay ng Ducati. Ayaw mong pabanggit pangalan mo eh. So, ito naman si Bro David ang nagbigay ng helmet. So, salamat sa mga kaibigan.
May mga visor pa yan. Tapos yung windshield.
Wow.
Yes.
Bro, pakis nga ako.
Yeah. Lips to lips.
Thank you. Mga anta, mga totoong kaibigan to eh. Mga sarap kasama talaga.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bro David. Thank you.
Belated, happy birthday. Enjoy your gift. Kuya Glenn, that's amazing. You know, that's what friends are for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ganon. That's what friends are for. para hindi tayo ma-copyright. Joel Flores, maganda po ito. In my opinion, assumptions are best used in ways
Alam mo rin sa amin yung
with better contingency plans, but assuming it's not good for spreading news. Peace. Very true po. That's why that's why I always emphasize the facts, no? At saka the clarity. Kanina po, na-training po ako ng sparring, at saka may data po ako dito kung yan.
There.
Turn one off. Turn it off?
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
That's it.
Yes po. So, in 1 hour, yung training ko, and then yung heart rate ko is 203, yung pinaka-high ko. 203 beats per minute. And then,
203.
yes, 4.4. So, yun po ay ang aking
What is the yung rest period mo?
rest period. Kailangan ko mag-rest for 27 hours to recover.
Whoa.
Lahat po yun, nakakaano po yun. That's why may data po ako. It's very important to have data.
Yeah. So now we
Kaya
know.
nga alam ko kung in shape ako in the 12 rounds,
Ang ganda.
nakikita ko sa heart rate ko.
What else do we want to talk about? We had a list.
Where do you measure your heart rate, Champ? Is it with a watch or?
You're up.
Oh, I'm up.
Ano po siya, it's a chest strap po.
Like, parang
Chest
bra
strap. Oo.
dito sa
It's-
nipples niya.
No. Yan. So, So,
Nag-obra pala si Champ. Okay.
yun po yun.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much yung
Si Champ.
na naslistahan namin. But again, gratitude po, no? Going back into gratitude is a very important key of happiness is gratitude. Kasi sa amin, in the morning, nag-meditate, parang nag-prayers or meditation po ang ginagawa namin kasama yung mga anak ko. Just saying thank you sa lahat ng gusto nila. Sometimes they're just saying, I'm thankful for my toys. O sige, at least you're thankful, no? I'm thankful for my food, parang ganun. So we're always saying thank you. Thank you sa lahat na makikita namin. Thank you sa lahat na naranasan namin. Kasi importante po yun kasi yun po ang isang susi na makapaano sa buhay natin. Happiness, at saka understanding at forgiveness. Kasi masaya na yung buhay mo eh. Parang ganun. Kapasalamat ko yun.
Reggie wants to know if yung heart rate monitor mo is accurate.
My heart rate monitor is very, very accurate. I've used it for more than 10 years. And every time, siguro mga 99% of the time, because there was one time na parang natira yung, yung heart rate ko. But it was very old at that time. At saka, taas yung, hindi pala, mababa yung, yung heart rate kumpara sa mga heart rate ko. But usually, lahat ng mga data ko po, magkaparehas po lahat.
At least, ma-add ko lang, Champ, about dun sa gratitude, no? Asa, matanda na rin ako, marami na pinagdaanan sa buhay, no? Meron na akong isang gustong i-add about dyan sa bagay na yan, no? Ang pagtanaw kasi ng utang na loob, ang pagkapasalamat, minsan, doon sa mga kabataan na ito, from my point of view, at saka talagang dinanas ko to. Lalo kung ikaw ay nagninegosyo o ikaw ay isang taong, alam mo na marami laging kasalamuha. Ang pagkapasalamat ko, minsan hindi yan para doon sa taong pinagpapasalamatan mo. Yan ay ginagawa mo rin para sa iyong sarili. Now, bakit? Bakit para sa sarili mo rin? Both sides mag-benefits kayo. Kasi pag nalaman ng tao na gumawa sa'yo ng mabuti na ikaw ay marunong magpasalamat, tumatawid po kasi yan. Lumilipat yan sa pag may mga naka-conversation ka o mayroong ibang tao na kausap. Pwede na dumating ang point na siyempre alam na po natin ang buhay, ups and downs yan. Hindi lahat ng oras nasa ibabaw pa. Hindi lahat ng oras nasa ilalim ka. Pag alam ng tao na ikaw isang tao marunong tumanaw ng utang na loob at marunong kang tumingin sa pinanggalingan mo, pwede na napunta ka sa lowest part of your life. And then, kailangan mo ng tulong kasi naman sa island, hindi mo kaya lagi talagang sarili mo. Lagi meron kang friends, families, talagang nandiyan lagi yan, no? So pag nakita ng tao na ikaw marunong kang tumanaw ng utang na loob, and then humingi ka, nag-help, kailangan mo ng help, and then nag-ask ka, din sasabihin ng tao, pagka ikaw wala kang kwentang utang, wala kang kwentang tao, di marunong tumanaw ng utang na loob, sabihin sa'yo, alam mo bro, humihingi ng tulong sa akin, siya, tulungan ko ba? And then sasabihin ng tao, naku bro, walang kwentang tao yan kasi hindi naman lang marunong magpasalamat yan. So hindi ka na makahingi ng tulong doon sa tao na yan kasi siyempre hihingi siya ng advice doon sa mga taong malapit sa'yo. Yes. And then after that, naglipat ka na naman. Then sasabihin, ay naku bro, walang kwenta yan. Walang kwentang tao yan. Hindi nga marunong magpasalamat yan. So ang ginagawan mo ng masama, yun mismo sarili mo. Kasi hindi ka makakatagpo ng mga taong tutulong sa'yo pag ikaw ay nasa lowest part of your life. Pag nakita nila na wala kang gratitude o wala kang pagtanaw ng utang na loob sa ibang tao. Now, reverse natin yung situation. Humingi ka ng tulong and then ikaw marunong magpasalamat o marunong kang tumingin ng utang na loob sa mga taong nagawan ka ng mabuti. And then sasabihin ng bro, nag-ask ng help si ganito tulungan ko ba? And then sasabihin ng tao, go, okay, mabuting tao yan. Okay, nagkaroon na siguro ng problem or something na hindi inaasahan kaya nagkaganyan. Pero okay, maaasahan yan, no problem dyan. So, makakakuha ka ngayon ng tulong o makakakuha ka ng simpatya pag alam na ikaw is taong marunong ka may gratitude ka o marunong ka ng utang loob at marunong ka magpasalamat. And then, another, lumipat ka sa kabila, ganun din, same situation. Bro, nag-a-ask ng help or need ng ganyan. Tulungan ko ba? O bro, okay yan, walang problema yung tao na yan kasi okay yan, talagang siguro may problema lang ngayon kaya nagkakaganyan. Pero okay yan, no problem yan. So, pag marunong ka tumanaw ng utang na loob and then may, sabihin nyo, marunong ka magpasalamat, ang ginagawa mo ng sarili is dalawa. Yung tumulong sa'yo and lalo na rin yung sarili mo. Kasi nakikita ng mga tao na, you're a good person. So, hindi mahirap ang tagumpay sa taong marunong magpasalamat at marunong lumingon doon sa kanyang pinanggalingan kung ano man sitwasyon. Kasi isa lang sigurado natin, ang buhay, ups and downs yan. Kahit sa karir, artista ka, boksingero ka, politiko ka, meron downs talaga yan. Pero ang pagalingan lang dito kung paano tayo babalik kung nasa ibaba tayo. Kung paano, yan tayo magkapagalingan. Paano tayo makaka-recover, paano tayo babalik kung nasa medyo lowest part of our life tayo. Pero isa lang sigurado dyan, ang tao marunong magpasalamat at marunong din sa pinanggalingan. Totoo po yan. Hindi lang po basta kasabihan yan. Totoo po yan na may apply natin sa buhay natin. So, yan lang po at siguro may edad na rin naman ako para naranasan ko yung mga bagay na yan. So, salamat po, Champ.
Totoo po yun, Kuya Glenn. Totoo po yun.
From experience.
Ito yun, di ba? And I believe this in all aspect. Buhay yan, di ba? There has to be a duality, no? Like I said, the yin and the yang, no? The sun, the moon, the night, the day, up and down. At saka, alam niyo po, ang pinaka-example dyan na may buhay tayo pag up and down. Pag titingnan natin, ang heartbeat po natin is up and down, up and down. Yun po ay makikita natin na buhay po tayo. Pag up and down yung heart rate, our heartbeat, di ba? Pag straight line yan, patay ka na. Kaya nga, embrace po natin ang kalungkutan, ang kasiyahan, kasi part po yan ng buhay natin. Yan po ang nagbibigay sa atin ng lakas. Pag matutunan natin ang learning lesson na binibigay sa bawat experience po. Para na kung si Charo dito, si Maala.
Maganda naman sinabi ni Kuya Glenn. Para kahapon, puro maganda lang sinabi mo eh. Ang ganda ko.
Dear
Coach
Kuya
Ricky, may puso ako. Wala.
Shoutout Coach Ricky. Salamat Coach Ricky sa support din
Opo, salamat Coach Ricky.
Is asking about if we combine yoga session.
Ma'am Rachel, did you combine a yoga session for champs training? Did you use a low heart rate training program?
We do yoga at Pilates, at bar.
Lahat-lahat po 'yon. Kasi kailangan po natin na hindi lang duro-duro yung training. We have to have your training has to be the same as your healing, 'di ba? Rest time. So kasi karamihan ang isip nila na diretso lang, sige, sugod ng sugod. Hindi nagpapahinga, kaya nga na-overtrain. Without training hard, you don't rest as much. But nagtitraining ka ng husto, you rest as much. Di ba? Kailangan po yun, the duality and the balance. Yun yung sinabi ko, up and down din, di ba?
Recovery, no?
At saka, pag nagtitraining kami ng ibang araw na low heart rate, yan po ang ginagawa namin. We call that active recovery.
Yan. So guys, I think we're gonna go to sleep.
Kailangan ko pa mag-training.
Yeah.
So again, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagbibigay ng continuous support dito sa Beyond the Ring with Rachel and Nonito. Kuya Lou, maraming salamat po for here and always supporting sa lahat ng mga regulars namin dito. Salamat po at yung mga super stickers, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. At sana po may natutunan po kayo sa mga bagay ng boxing, sa promotion, Probellum, Richard Schaefer, at saka lahat na po na kailangan na naganap dito sa chat natin dito ngayon.
Yan. And we are welcome to Bahrain.
And congratulations sa Beyond the Ring with Nonito and Rachel for getting monetized today. No?
Thank you. 1 week lang po. Very good. We're very hardworking. Very hardworking. To Sheikh of Bahrain, shout out to you po. Jan, no plans yet, but hopefully siguro sa the near future. So again, maraming salamat. Kuya Lou, Kuya Glenford, do you want to have yung mga message niyo po?
Kailan muna?
Yun lang, champ, no? Doon sa mga interesado pa, doon sa gaganapin nating boxing sparring session natin sa October 31. So, Nonito and Rachel Jr. sparring session sa Glenford Fitness Boxing Gym. Pwede pa po kayo mag-message at gawa pa natin ng paraan na basta doon lang po sa mga sa mga vloggers ang ating mga priority, no, para talong kumalat itong ating programa na to. So salamat ng marami champ at Ma'am Rachel sa suporta. Tsaka sa lahat ng mga nandito pa at nakatambay pa dito sa inyong segment. Salamat.
Yeah, para sa lahat din, yung support ko rin si Kuya Glenn dun sa gagawin namin na event. Ako siguro yung mag-setup nung live stream. And siguro everybody watch out for Probellum. Maganda yung mga sinabi ni Richard Schaefer dun sa sa Philippine boxing scene na yung tulong na magagawa niya. Of course, that would come through Ma'am Rachel and Champ Nonito and Rachel. So, ito po, susuporta po kami diyan sa balak ng Probellum at dito sa gagawin namin. Thank you, Champ.
Thank you din po, Kuya Lou, Kuya Glenn, at sa lahat ng mga kababayan, mga kapatid natin dito, to everyone. We are so blessed and grateful to have your energy with us. I am so touched to all those that have always supported us and have seen the clarity of our channel.
Yep. And I believe on Friday you're gonna stream yung sparring mo, no?
Yes, sa Friday po.
So I don't get in trouble.
So the Friday po, I mag-stream po ako sa Sparring ko on Friday. So I know dyan late yan sa inyo, but you guys can review the
Watch
chat.
it later, of
watch
course.
it later, yes.
All right, guys. We want you guys to have a good night. Ingat and salamat.
Salamat po. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat. God bless.
I'm Jarrell and I am Logan. Thank you for watching this video. And don't forget to like and subscribe the video. And hit the bell. Ding, ding, ding. KO! Jinx, got ya.
Nonito and